Hi, I'm Dad the Engineer. Today I'm going to share with you some tips for writing effective product reviews. Before I get to that, I'm going to ask you to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It would help me a lot and I greatly appreciate the gesture. I generally intend for my videos to be short, but I may actually pull it off this time. I've covered various aspects of participating in Amazon's Vine program. If you haven't seen them, the link to the Vine playlist is in this video's description below. What I didn't do in those videos was delve deeply into what it means to write a good review. Part of the reason for this is because good is a subjective evaluation. That said, I do think that there are some objective elements to a good review, so I'll put on my best fireproof suit and weigh in with my opinion. I feel the purpose of a review is to inform a potential customer about the item that they're considering purchasing. For anyone bothering to do some cursory research into their potential purchase, I think it's safe to say that they would be willing to read more than one review in order to form a more complete picture of their potential purchase. Understanding this, and understanding that time is precious, I think it's a good idea to make your review as direct as possible. It's probably also appropriate to scale the review detail to the absolute cost of the item. Helping someone to understand the ownership experience of owning an 84-inch TV set is quite a bit different than the ownership experience of a dish sponge. Too little information wastes the reader's time just as much as too much information. Especially when I was looking to secure an invite to the Vine program, I wrote very complete reviews. I spent quite a bit of time trying to make the reviews as informative as possible, not necessarily properly valuing my own time in the process. This also, unfortunately, led me to not properly valuing the reader's time either. Certainly, you should make your own decisions about what's appropriate, but it's good to set a time budget for writing your reviews. I try to do this scaled by the item's price. It's rare for me to write a review that takes less than 3 minutes, and my maximum budget is 30 to 40 minutes, which is for items priced at $1,000 or more. When alternatives are available, it's often the case that there isn't an awful lot that differentiates one product from another similar one. Though there are some exceptions, I think it's a good rule of thumb to spend the majority of your time explaining the comparative advantages and disadvantages of the particular item that you're reviewing. The properties and features that are common to all the products in the category can be mentioned, but do not have to be discussed in detail. This is going to be a point of fundamental disagreement for some, but I personally feel that a star rating should be scaled to the pricing of the item. I feel the same about the material quality, build quality, the design, and the longevity of the item. Some say that there are no bad products, only bad prices. I don't agree with that as a truism. Sometimes junk is junk at any price. I also feel it's true that a mediocre product can be an impressive value at an extremely low price. Similarly, an amazing product at a ridiculously high price does not necessarily represent a great value, especially when compared against competing products. Theoretically, a review is providing an accounting of the advantages and compromises that come with the ownership experience of the item that you're reviewing. It's not uncommon for me to remark that a product is not worth buying at any price. I also write that an item is a good value as long as there's no flexibility in your budget. Or I mention how much more you may have to spend in order to get something superior and what that extra money will get you. Though some have speculated that there are some shadow rules against this, I typically provide the pricing and whatever discounts were in effect at the time of the review's posting. That way, whomever is reading the review knows the proper price context for any statements regarding the value of the item. Generally, I believe that photos are extremely valuable when it comes to a quality review. That said, it's not worth having photos for the purpose of including them. It's especially great if the photos can indicate something about the workmanship, material quality, design quality, or the fit of the item. Videos, on the other hand, sometimes run afoul of the guideline of economizing the time of the potential purchaser. In general, I would say that a good rule of thumb would be that you shouldn't expect anyone else to watch a video that you wouldn't want to sit through yourself. Examples of great videos would be ones that provide necessary or more accurate information than was provided by the seller or manufacturer, particularly pertaining to assembly, maintenance, or operation. Another good example would be anything that you can't really convey as well through photos alone. The hope is that any product sent to you is in decent shape at the time you receive it. Within the limits of the community policy, you can explain any atypical experiences that you have with the receipt and acceptance. You can do that for post-sales support too. For most items, I note that my review reflects my experience at the time I wrote it, and that I will update the review if anything noteworthy occurs outside of expectations. Then I update my reviews in the event that I have unexpected wear, premature failure, or anything else that came up in the ownership experience that I didn't initially note in my review. Inferentially, somebody reading the review can note that the experience is still fine in the absence of any updates. That certainly wasn't as short as I intended, but I think the content was worth the time. From reading many posted reviews, I know that there's a vast universe of opinions on what constitutes a useful review. Mom the Engineer, for example, does not take it very seriously, but still manages to convey insight proportional to the product's price. Since this is all a matter of opinion anyway, I'm curious what process the rest of you use. If you found this video to be helpful and would like to see more like it, please like and subscribe. I'm just getting this thing started and I could really use your help. If you would like to contribute some feedback, please engage with me in the comments below. If, like me, you're a little old school, please check out my website, linked in my bio. Thanks, and have an awesome day.